Hello everyone, this is Old School from White Box Gaming, and today we're going to be taking a look at Medieval Dynasty, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to hunt, or at least get started hunting. Alright, so right off the bat, what you're going to notice about Medieval Dynasty, if you haven't figured it out already, is that hunting sucks balls out the gate. It's very difficult, um, it's pretty hard. So what you start with is a spear, essentially. So I'm going to grab a spear, just for demonstration purposes. And then I always want to make sure I have an axe. So I do have my stone axe on me. So let's press my tab key. I'm going to set my axe to key 1. That's usually what I have it at, but it looks like I probably broke it earlier. And then I'm going to set my spear to hotkey 4. So I'm going to bring this up. Do I have any food on me? I always like to have supplies on me while I'm out hunting, by the way. Just in case, you know. It's kind of like a Boy Scout turd. So I'll grab some food before I actually go out here and go hunting. Thought I had some in here. Don't see it. It's okay. I'll just run over to the food storage. And again, if you're starting out, you're probably not going to have this set up. Don't worry. None of this really applies. You're definitely not going to have dried meat. But just remember to grab some food. It's probably springtime for you. Make sure that you are well fed. Not that it has any major effect, it's just I don't like to get caught out in the wild and be hungry and I'm hunting and I potentially could run into a deer or something and then, have to worry about my hunger. Alright, so we're gonna just go do some simple rabbit hunting. That's probably the first thing that you want to do is just hunt rabbits. So with a spear, I want to point out, don't ever try to attack any animal like this. Don't do that. That's with your left clicking. Just don't do it. Just say no. Um, what you want to do though is you want to use the throwing. So you want to left click, or right click I mean, and throw your spear. That's how you want to go hunting. Otherwise, you're just not going to be very successful at all. And by the way, the spear is not the greatest. It's actually probably one of the worst. But it's what you get stuck with starting out, and because nobody's going to have a bow right off the bat. Next thing you want to get is the hunting sense. So I'm going to press my Alt key. We're going to look and see if we see any animals. If you don't have this, you'll want to get this, the hunter's sense. That's what it's called. So you want to get hunting sense. And then here's a rabbit. So I'm just going to quickly kill this rabbit. And you want to get as close as you can without scaring it. And then the spear is terribly not accurate, by the way. Like, I totally just missed that rabbit. And now you gotta go face down your spear because it went sailing off into Neverland. Alright, I have no idea where it's at. I'm just gonna chop down a tree and just make a new one. Welcome to hunting. Much how frustrating it's going to be probably starting out. Unless you're really, really, really good. Which I am not. So it actually took me a while to get this skill developed. Wasn't something that I just developed quickly. In fact, I think I came back to hunting probably one of the last things that I really worked on hardcore. Just because it was so frustrating. Now, once I got the crossbow, it was like, oh my god, this is amazing. But yeah, it took some time to get the crossbow. Alright, so let's reset this up. By the way, another pro tip on this. Make sure you have plenty of spears pre-set up because you will miss. Probably a lot. Or if you have something bigger than a rabbit, it will take more than one spear to kill it. And let me tell you, it sucks chasing down deer and trying to spear them multiple times. Now, you might get good at it and you might get really quick at throwing the spear. I am not. I am not a skilled hunter. And I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're probably not a skilled hunter either. Alright, so anyway, rabbits are pretty much, like I said, found just about anywhere and everywhere. There's a rabbit right there. Oh, that's a fox. I'm going to attempt to kill it. Probably not going to be successful with the spear. I probably will have to resort to my my axe. Now I'm going to aim just right above his head. And that did not work. Alright, because that didn't work, I gotta chase him down. And hopefully eventually he'll die. Or I can catch up to him where I can spear him again. Or miss. So this is the fun part about chasing down your dinner. Now I did just spear him as I caught up to him. Which that works just fine, but don't try to defend yourself. If they're attacking you like a boar or something, don't try to defend yourself by taking them on. That way. Alright, so we have some spears that we dropped. Somewhere over here. There it is. Now on your hunting gathering type thing, I also recommend that you get like the gathering sense that I have here. So you can find this stuff when you drop it. There's a deer right there. Let's just go ahead and kill it. I'm going to switch over to my crossbow so you can see how awesome the crossbow is. Crossbow with a little bit of stamina to set it up, but once it's set there, boom, you don't really have to do anything. And I'm just going to sneak up on this deer. Is that a deer or a moose? Oh, it's a deer. Alright, I'm just going to sneak up on it. If it doesn't run away. I'm going to try to shoot it in the neck. That's the other thing with the crossbow. It's extreme. Ooh, there's a stag. The crossbow is amazingly accurate. And it killed the stag. Just come up here, skin it. Alright, that's how awesome the crossbow is. Set it and forget it. Alright, great. So, what's the bow look like? Alright, well, let's run back. We'll grab a bow. And I'll show you how disappointing that is. And I say disappointing, I mean, it's not that bad. The longbow I have not got, but I know the longbow is supposedly really good. From what I've seen in other hunting tutorials, it looked like it was like the better of the options. But at the time, I didn't have any flax stock to make the linen thread, so I couldn't really make a bow or a longbow that well, and I didn't have the cash to unlock it either. Now, you could argue, well, why didn't you just go buy one? Well, I'd rather just craft stuff myself than go and buy stuff. So that's why I didn't do that. Was that a mistake? Probably on my part. It might be easier for you to just go buy one from a vendor. If you're starting out, again, no vendors around here really sell the bows. You have to go to the other vendors in the other towns to get it, and they are a bit of a walk, and it is a little you're starting out because the wolves, they'll pretty much eat you alive. I think there might be a bow and some arrows in my house. Let me just check. I don't see a bow. I got some arrows. I'm just gonna get... Do I have any stone arrows? You know what? I think I put it in my hunting lodge because I was just like done with it. If not, I'll come back and I'll grab these copper arrows. Arrows do help, by the way, like the copper arrows and stuff. When you're taking on bigger game, that does help a lot to use the better arrows. And in my case, I use the better bolts. For the most part, I've been using wood bolts, and that seems to work fine for just about everything except for like your bigger game like bear and the bison, which they call Wisecott or Westcott. I don't know. It's a buffalo. Those things suck. I shot a buffalo with like 3 or 4 bolts that were copper, and that thing was still kicking. So they are super hard to kill. All right, I'm gonna grab 15 arrows. That should be about all we need. I'm gonna go into my inventory and I'm gonna set this up. Excuse me. I'm gonna set this up on 4, same as I had for my spear. And again, the bow is a little tricky. I just don't recommend using it long term. Like it's something great to get out of the spear because you don't want to use the spear at all. But the bow is just not. It's really just not my cup of tea. You know, it's just not like this thing I want to use all the time. All right, I'm gonna look around here though. I'm gonna look for something. And to be honest with you, another problem with the bow is it's just not strong enough, or at least the regular bow is just not strong enough to take down any animal with 1 kill, except for like your small game. It is a little bit more easier to use than the spear, but it's not really worth long-term investing in it. I don't know. Here, I have some wooden spears here on the ground. See how accurate I am? I just leave stuff laying around. Here's another one over here. I was probably hunting something and didn't get it or missed or whatever. Because again, with the spears you have to chase down stuff and throw multiple spears at it if it's a big game. There looks like there's something over here. I hope that's not a buffalo because there's no way I'm spearing a buffalo. Is that a bear? No, this is a buffalo. Yeah, so unless you want to commit suicide, don't try to kill buffalo with a bow or a spear. And even with your crossbow, I have a wooden crossbow. I have not gotten to the iron crossbow. I know the iron crossbow hits considerably harder. Um, but with the bow and whatnot, it just simply doesn't hit hard enough to take down that big game. You can kill bears probably with a bow. I would not recommend it, but you can. Alright, so here's a bunny. I'm just going to sneak up on it, and again, you could use your spear for this, but... Oh, no arrows. I forgot to equip them. That's another little annoying thing. I wish it would just auto-equip. Like, I have arrows in my inventory. Why not just grab the ones that I have? Alright, so left click to get it set up. And then I think I'm a little bit of a distance away, so I'm just going to aim slightly above. Got it. Alright. Great. Let me skin this rabbit. I got some meat. And I should have got my arrow back as well. Let me double check. Yeah, I think I had 15 arrows. It looks like I got 15 arrows again still. So that is the advantage though of the bow and arrow versus the spear, is you do get your arrows back. You know, pending that you hit your target, of course. Let's just kill this rabbit. Get on up at it a little bit closer. And I try to pre-aim. because as you hold, you're losing stamina here as you hold this, and it will get shaky. Oh, yep, see, I just missed him. And I have no idea where that arrow went at. It's somewhere in outer space. I will attempt to retrieve the arrow, but it's probably gone forever. And another issue with hunting in the cold is like the cold, if you don't have the right gear on, can really hurt you weather-wise, so it can be very difficult to hunt in the winter. But it is easier to spot game. Oh, no bolts. Nothing equipped. So, moral of the story here is, though, is to get the crossbow as soon as you can. I think it's like 400 or 500 bucks. It is totally worth every penny, or every coin, depending on how you want to look at it, to get the crossbow. It is absolutely the absolute hands down best weapon in the game. It will make hunting so much easier. It'll make your life easier. I've never hunted fish with the crossbow. In fact, I really don't hunt fish very often. That uses a fishing spear. I'm assuming the fishing spear, though, from what I've heard, is the best option for hunting fish. That would be the only exception to the rule when it comes to a spear. And to me, that just kind of makes sense because it's a pronged, so it's more likely to hit the fish than if you were trying to use a bow or something that's not really designed to kill fish. So, alright, I hope this helps.